welcome to all again in third part of chapter 2 physical feature of India. Dear students, in part second I completed first physiographical features of India, that is the Himalayan mountains. I hope you understood. Today I am Gurnath Karat will start this lecture with second and third physiographical division of India. Second physiographical division of India is the northern plain. This plain is formed by three river systems, that is the Indus, the Ganga and the Brahmaputra, along with their tributaries. This plain is formed by alluvial soil. It spread over an area of 7 lakh square kilometer. These plains are about 2400 km long and between 240 to 320 km broad. Northern plains regions are densely populated due to the fertile soil, adequate water supply, favorable climate and terrain. The rivers originating from the northern mountains slow down due to the gentle slope, which result in the formation of riverine islands. Manjuli is the largest inhabited riverine islands in the world and lies in the Brahmaputra river. The river split into a number of channels in their lower course due to the deposition of a slip. These channels are called distributaries. They are common feature of the deltas. The northern plain is broadly divided into three sections as mentioned below. A. The western part of the northern plain means Punjab plains. B. The Ganga plains and C. Brahmaputra plain. Now A1. The western part of northern plains means the Punjab plains. Punjab plains, it is the western part of the plain. It has been formed by the Indus and its many tributaries. The larger part of this plain lies in Pakistan. The Indus and larger part of this plain lies in Pakistan. The Indus and its tributaries, the Jhelum, the Ravi, the Satluj, the Beas and the Chambals originate in the Himalaya. The Punjab plain is also dominated by Doabs, means two waters. Doab is made up of two words. Do means two and ab meaning water. Similarly, Punjab is also made of two words. Panj means five and ab means water. Now B1, the Ganga plains. The Ganga plain or basin form the middle part of the northern plains of India. It extends between the Ghaggar and Tista rivers. It spread over the state of North India, including Haryana, Delhi, Uttar Pradesh, Bihar, part of Jharkhand, and West Bengal. The Ganga plain is drained mostly in the eastward direction by the Ganga and its major tributaries such as Yamuna, Gandak, Kosi, Son, etc. It slopes gently eastwards and has highly fertile soils. It is agriculturally the most important region of India. It is highly populated and has some major cities on its river bank. C1 Brahmaputra Plains. It is the eastern parts of the plains. It extends from Assam to Bangladesh. The northern plains are gently described as flat and with no variation in its relief. It is not true. These vast plains also has diverse relief features. According to the variation in elevation points, the northern plains can be divided into four regions. First one, Bhabar. Second one, Tirai. Third one, Bhangar. And fourth one, Khadar. Now the first one, Bhabar. After descending from the mountains, the river deposit pebbles in a narrow belt of about 8 to 60 km in width, lying parallel to the slope of the Shivalik. It is known as Bhabar Belt. All the rivers disappear in the Bhabar Belt. Now second one, Tirai regions. Tirai, south of Bhabar Belt, the streams and rivers re-emerge and create a wet, swampy and marshy regions known as Tirai. Earlier, it was thickly forested with a lot of wildlife, but now most of the forests have been cleared for agriculture land and the settled migrant from Pakistan after the independence. Some forests still remain here. Dudhwa National Park is located in this region. Now third one, Bhangar. The largest part of the northern plain consisting of older alluvium and known as Bhangar. It presents a terrace-like features and contains calcareous deposit known as kankras. Now fourth one, Khadar. The lowest regions is the floodplains known as Khadar. The soil here renewed whenever there is a flood, almost every year. So this area is fertile and best for intensive agriculture. Now third physiographical division of India is the Peninsula Plateau. This is the tableland composed of the old crystalline, igneous and metamorphic rocks. It was formed due to the breaking of the drifting of Gondwana land. Thus, it is a part of the oldest landmass. The plateau has broad and shallow valley and rounded hills. This plateau consists of two broad divisions. First one, the Central Highlands, and the second one, the Deccan Plateau. Now, first one is the Central Highlands. This is the part lying north of the Narmada rivers, which cover most of the Malwa Plateau. The Vindhya range is bounded by the Central Highlands on the south and the eroded and broken Aravalli on the northwest. Its further westward extension gradually merged with the sandy and rocky deserts of Rajasthan. It slopes from southwest to northeast, as indicated by the flow of the Chambal, Sindh, Betwa, and Ken rivers. The Central Highlands are wider in the west but narrower in the east. Its eastern edge is consists of area known as Bundelkhand and Bagelkhand. The Chota Nagpur Plateaus marks the further eastward extension drained by the Damodar river. Now second, Deccan Plateau. This triangular landmass lies to the south of the Narmada river. The broad base of the Satpura range forms its north, while the Mahadev Hills, the Kaimur Hills, and the Michael Range form its eastern extensions. The Deccan Plateau is higher in the west and slopes gently eastward. An extension of the plateau is also visible in the northeast, generally known as the Meghalaya, Karbi Anglong Plateau, and northern Karcher Hills. It is separated from the Chota Nagpur Plateau by a fault. Three prominent hills range from its west to east are the Goro, the Khasi, and the Jaintia hills. And dear student, as you know, this region is famous for the heavy rainfall in the world. Now, Western and Eastern Ghats. These Ghats mark the east and west edge of the Deccan Plateau. The Western Ghats, also known as Sahyadri Range, lie parallel to the western coast. The Western Ghats are higher than the Eastern Ghats. Their average elevation is 900 to 1600 meters as against 600 meters of Eastern Ghat. The Ghat causes orographic rain by forcing the rain-bearing moist monsoons wind to rise along the western slope of the Ghats. The height of Western Ghats increasing from north to south. Anaimundi. The height of Anaimundi is 2695 meter, and Doda Betta. The height of Doda Betta is 2637 meter, are the highest peak found here. The famous hills station of Udakmandalam, popularly known as Uti, and Kodaikanals are these hills. The Western Ghats are continuous and can be crossed through passes only. The Eastern Ghats stretch from the Mahanadi Valley to the Nilgiri in the south. The Eastern Ghats are discontinuous and irregular and described by rivers drain the Bay of Bengal. Mahendragiri. Height of Mahendragiri is 1501 meter. Is the highest peak in the Eastern Ghat. Shevra Hills and Javdi Hills are located in the southeast of the Eastern Ghats. The Nilgiri Hills in Tamil Nadu lie at a junction of the Eastern and Western Ghats. One of the distinct features of the Peninsula Plateau is the black soil area known as Deccan Trap. This is the volcanic origin, hence the rock are igneous. Aravalli Hills lie on the western and northwest margins of the Peninsula Plateau. These are highly eroded hills and are found as broken hills. They extend from Gujarat to Delhi in a southwest to northeast direction. In a fourth part of this chapter, I will cover the fourth physiographical divisions, that is the deserts, the fifth one the coastal plains, and the sixth one the islands. Thank you.